In a small seaside town in the United States called Emrys, a great tsunami begins to strike, and during the tremor, several cracks appear on the ocean floor, revealing a mysterious glow that reaches the surface of the sea. Nearby, a couple are swimming peacefully, and after enjoying themselves for a while, the man prepares to propose to his beloved. Suddenly, the young man is pulled under the water and, noticing that he has disappeared, the woman becomes extremely worried and starts looking for her husband. At that moment, the man's lifeless body returns to the surface, which terrifies the woman, but before she can flee, a gigantic zombie appears and grabs the victim, taking her to the bottom of the ocean. In that same region, a group of fishermen finish another day's work, and Hunter tells them that he will miss that place, as he is planning to leave to look for more job opportunities in other cities. Upon hearing this, Jada and his uncle Ray try to convince him not to leave, and say that the man will never find a place as calm and comfortable as this one. At that moment, the team begins to hear several explosions in the area, and when they look around, they find a group of young people setting off several fireworks. Disgusted by all the chaos, the fishermen decide to board the boat, and Ray orders them to stop the mess before they are taken to the police station. Now that the ocean is silent again, the men return to their boat, where they continue with their fishing. Soon after, Ray feels something hook his line, but when he pulls out his fishing rod, he realizes that he hasn't caught a fish, but a human body. After bringing the body back to the yacht, the group tries to understand what could have caused the man's elimination, and during the discussion, Jada notices something shining on the seabed, and tells them that the body could have come from there. In addition, they notice that the water around the boat is also glowing, and realizing that the situation is becoming increasingly dangerous, Hunter decides to call the authorities. Observing the bright areas of the ocean, the men try to understand what could have caused it, and while collecting the fishing equipment from the water, Jada realizes that the body has disappeared. Before she could alert the rest of the team, she was attacked by the sea zombie, which bit her neck. As soon as they hear the girl's screams, the fishermen rush to her aid and Jay pulls the creature off his knees. Noticing that the monster won't back down, Hunter decides to confront it, and goes after it, using his fishing knife to hit the zombie several times. Quickly, the fisherman goes to Jada to try to stabilize her injuries, but at that moment, he realizes that the bizarre body is still alive, and Ray joins his partner so that they can throw the man back into the ocean. With the threat neutralized, the fishermen take care of the wounded girl, and Hunter decides to contact the town doctor. On the other side of town, Dr. Kenzie is having fun with her friend and her daughter in a local bar, but when she receives a call from Hunter, she decides to leave so that she can help Jada. So the woman says goodbye to Tawny and Sam, and then sets off towards the beach. When she arrives at the scene, she notices that the girl's injuries have stabilized and asks the nurses to take her to hospital as soon as possible. So that they can find out what's going on, Hunter decides to stay at the docks to talk to the police, while Ray accompanies his niece in the ambulance. At that moment, the policeman Akoni appears, and noticing that the situation was more dangerous than usual, he asks the fisher to explain what happened while they were on the high seas. The pair then head to the boat, and Hunter takes the officer to the spot where the mysterious glow appeared. Meanwhile, the pair of girls continue to party in the town bar, where they watch a group of young men perform. After the performance, Tawny chats with guitarist Rand, while Sam is approached by Dag, the band's singer, who quickly becomes attracted to the young woman. During the investigation, Akoni asks the man to use one of his fishing devices so that they can find out what's going on at the bottom of the sea. So the fisherman drops the underwater drone into the ocean, allowing them to observe the scientific phenomenon with ease. As soon as the drone reaches the bottom, they see a military ship, which is completely destroyed, and the police officer reveals that the department has never had any records of shipwrecks in that area. While analyzing the vehicle, they notice a human silhouette approaching the drone, and the fisherman reveals that it was exactly what they faced earlier. Frightened, Hunter claims that those creatures could be zombies, as they don't feel pain even after being attacked several times. During the conversation, they hear something happening around the boat, and as they look out at the ocean, the men notice that several zombies are submerging from the wreck and swimming at full speed towards them. Quickly, Akoni orders Hunter to start the boat to get them out of there, while he uses his radio to talk to his partner, ordering him to declare an evacuation alert and to find his daughter as soon as possible. At that moment, all the sirens in the area begin to sound, and as the men look back, they see a huge tsunami of zombies forming in the ocean and heading towards the city. To prevent them from being devoured by the colossal wave of creatures, the fisherman takes the policemen inside the boat so that they can protect themselves from the attack. After the impact, the coastal area was completely destroyed and several monsters were scattered on the beach. After a few minutes, Jada wakes up, but thanks to the infection she got from the bite, she has become another one of the sea zombies, and sets out to attack her uncle, causing him to scream for help. Hearing the screams, one of the nurses runs into the room and is attacked by Jada, who begins to devour him in front of everyone. On the beach, civilians try to help the bodies lying in the sand, but what they don't know is that those bodies are actually zombies, who start attacking everyone they see, and the chaos attracts more and more creatures. Trying to control the horde, they race to the danger zone and split up to try and save as many innocents as possible. While AQUATIC uses his gun to stop the zombies from reaching the group, Hunter goes to one of the wrecked boats and ignites the engine, turning it into a chainsaw and destroying all the monsters that approach. Soon afterwards, the pair go to the parking lot, and as they get into one of the vehicles, they notice that two young people are hiding in the back seats. Watching the couple, Hunter remembers that these are Blaine and Connie, whom he met earlier, and together they set off towards the city. At the hospital, while walking to Jada's room, Kenzie notices that all the staff on that floor have disappeared, and as she approaches, she comes across the young woman completely transformed, and flees in despair. During her escape, the doctor is saved by Ray, who pulls her into one of the rooms and locks the door. When they arrive at the police station, the survivors are attacked by a horde of zombies, who have managed to follow them into the station. Before they could enter the building, Blaine became desperate and pushed Connie towards the creatures, causing her to be devoured. They quickly enter the police station and Hunter reprimands the young man for his extremely cowardly attitude. However, Blaine doesn't feel the slightest bit guilty and says he'll do anything to survive. Soon afterwards, the man grabs the gun of one of the policemen and orders everyone to get away from him, but as soon as he is distracted, AQUATIC signals to his partner, who tries to shoot the young man. Even so, the man is quicker and fires a shot at the officer, causing him to fall to the ground instantly. Noticing the man's shotgun lying on the ground, Blaine tries to run to pick it up, but Hunter approaches and hits him over the head with a snow globe, knocking the coward completely unconscious. Devastated by what has happened, AQUATIC says goodbye to his partner because there is nothing more he can do. In the city, Ray and Kenzie are still sheltering in the hospital and decide to escape through the window so that they can access the main floor via the terrace. When they reach the corridors, the survivors come across a zombie in a wheelchair, but it is completely trapped, allowing them to pass the monster without being attacked. Meanwhile, the group of young people are preparing to leave the bar, using various objects in the establishment as weapons. Together, they run through the streets of the city, and when they realize that more and more zombies are coming to attack them, they decide to enter one of the abandoned warehouses in the neighborhood so that they can hide. The problem is that the place has already been taken over by the creatures, and while sneaking through the corridors, Rand is captured and devoured by the monsters in a few seconds. This scene leaves Tani extremely terrified, and realizing that her friend will be eliminated if she stays inside, Sam shouts at the girl to leave, saying that they can meet later. Tani then turns away from the creatures and flees the scene. Back at the police station, AQUATIC tries to contact the Navy by radio, but gets no response. With that, the policeman opens the secret safe in his office, and after taking out a mysterious envelope, he puts it in the paper shredder. Soon after, he goes to check out what the fisherman is doing, and Hunter reveals that he managed to use Ray's credentials to look at the maritime records of the city of Emrys. Analyzing the documentation, the man discovers that the wreck belonged to Revoke Industries, the same pharmaceutical company whose envelope was destroyed by the officer a few seconds ago. At that moment, the zombies begin to destroy the entrance door, and AQUATIC decides to take Hunter to the equipment closet so that they can get more powerful weapons and get ready to leave. The pair then go to the door of the police station, and after handcuffing the coward to one of the benches, they leave the building, using their police shields to push the monsters away. So that they can get rid of all those zombies on the streets, Hunter uses his bazooka, blowing up dozens of creatures around the place. Suddenly, the survivors look towards the beach and are shocked to realize that another tsunami of zombies is approaching the city. They quickly run to the truck so that they can escape the impact as soon as possible. After a while, the number of zombies increases more and more, and Tani realizes that she's running out of ways out. To avoid being devoured, she decides to run to one of the houses located in the mountains of the region, so that she can take shelter away from the city. In the urban area, Dag and Sam continue to run away from the monsters, and when they reach the parking lot, they spot the band's van, where the drummer is still sleeping as if nothing is happening. Desperate, they run to the vehicle and shout for the young man, who, seeing several creatures chasing his friends, decides to fight the zombies. However, he is easily defeated and abandoned by the duo, who get into the van while the drummer is eliminated. In the mountains, Tani arrives at the country house and is met by Marty, who opens the gates for the girl. Shortly afterwards, the girl borrows the man's radio and uses it to contact her father, who asks her to stay at the house because he will come to pick her up soon. At the police station, Blaine manages to free himself, and as he approaches the exit, he is intercepted by Connie, who throws herself at him and quickly finishes him off. Meanwhile, in the city parking lot, Sam and Dag continue to be surrounded by monsters, and the young man decides to draw the attention of the zombies so that his friend has a chance to escape. At that moment, Hunter and Akoni appear, and the policeman uses his gun to eliminate the monsters approaching the young woman, allowing her to run to the truck safely. Before he could escape the horde, Dag was knocked down by one of the zombies, and realizing that the young man had no chance of survival, the men decided to leave. Soon afterwards, the group sets off towards the hospital, so that they can rescue Ray and Kenzie, and as she knows the place like no one else, Sam suggests that the group go to the nurse's ward, so that they can call her mother. As soon as they arrive at the nursing station, the girl takes off at full speed down the corridor, and after picking up the phone, she locks herself in the utility room, where she uses the hospital's loudspeakers to call for her mother. While the young woman makes a call to Kenzie, Hunter and Akoni fight off all the zombies, using a fire extinguisher to ward off the monsters and trap them in the rooms along the corridor. The problem is that all that noise ends up attracting one of the zombies, which destroys a piece of the door with its head. Using the machete handed to her by Hunter, Sam strikes the creature, causing it to retreat instantly. In the corridors, Hunter realizes that the group is about to be cornered, and quickly grabs one of the building's electrical wires, creating an electric current that causes a huge shock to the zombies. At the end of the fight, Ray and Kenzie appear, and with everyone reunited, the group heads for the parking lot. Now that they are safe, the survivors go to Marty's house, where Tani is waiting for her father, who is extremely happy to see her again. After entering the mansion, the policeman decides to check the place out, but as soon as he enters one of the rooms, he ends up being attacked by a zombie, which bites his arm and flees. At the sight of the creature, the survivors unite to face it, but it runs straight past the men and lunges at Kenzie, who quickly grabs one of the weapons from the wall and uses it to confront the zombie. To put an end to all the chaos, Marty hits the monster with his taser, causing him to pass out instantly. Soon after, Ray appears at Akoni's side, revealing that he has been bitten by the zombie, and Tani is devastated by the sudden news. Feeling guilty, Marty reveals that he was studying these monsters to find out how to eliminate them permanently, and that's why he had one of them trapped in his house. The man says that electricity is the only thing that can stop the zombies, which is why he has attached his taser to the fisherman's machete, so they can be sure of eliminating their targets. Hunter suggests that the group lure the zombies to the beach, so that they can use the wiring from the fallen poles to electrocute them, since the water will cause everyone to be hit by the electrical discharge. Although they have a good plan, they will have to blow up the boat to make it work, but Marty reveals that this is not a problem, and shows off his arsenal. So Hunter says he will take care of the zombies that are in the way, while the rest of the group prepares the trap on the beach. With everything ready, the survivors start packing the explosives, while Hunter heads for the gates to face the monsters. Suddenly, the taser fails, and seeing that her friend may be in danger, Kenzie goes outside to help him. Noticing that they are right next to a wood chipper, Hunter shouts for his partner to stand next to him, while Kenzie strikes the monsters with her weapon. Hunter performs various maneuvers, taking advantage of his strength to lift the zombies towards the crusher, creating a great rain of zombies in the garden. Together they fight off a large part of the horde, throwing each of the zombies into the machine and clearing the way for the rest of the group. Immediately after the fight, the survivors gather outside the mansion, and after picking up the bags containing explosives, they set off on foot towards the beach. Halfway there, the group stops at a small cave, and before they turn into one of those zombies, Akoni throws his badge at the fisherman, declaring that the safety of the whole group, including his daughter, is in Hunter's hands. Realizing that he doesn't have much time, the policeman decides to reveal everything he knows about the zombies, and explains that 30 years ago, the Revoke Company came to town with an announcement that it was producing the world's first anti-aging substance. The problem was that in order to ensure that the substance was working normally, they needed to carry out tests on human guinea pigs, somewhere where the authorities wouldn't stop them. As a result, all the police and government leaders in the region were given large amounts of money to keep everything that was happening a secret. However, members of the company lied about the safety of the substance, as it still had extremely dangerous side effects, and for this reason, the company used a military ship to remove all the guinea pigs from the city. With that, Akoni reveals that the moment Hunter found the wreck at the bottom of the sea, he already knew that it was the vehicle that was transporting the mutant humans. Upon hearing the story, Kenzie claims that it was all done on purpose, which means that the scientists were actually trying to create an army of zombies capable of wiping out an entire population. Just then, some zombies start appearing around the place, and Hunter orders the survivors to flee while he fights the creatures. Using his electric machete, the fisherman destroys all the monsters that come his way, making several electric cuts that fry the hooded zombies. Suddenly, one of the creatures leaps towards Hunter, who is knocked to the ground, but Marty appears and strikes the target with his electric knife, eliminating the threat instantly. At the end of the fight, the man hands his knife to the fisherman, and together they return to the rest of the group. The problem is that Akoni no longer has the strength to continue and ends up falling to the ground. As everyone leaves the cave, Tani puts an explosive in one of her father's hands, and after joining the other survivors, they start to leave. By now, Akoni has turned into one of the zombies, but thanks to the grenade given to him by his daughter, he ends up exploding, trapping the other monsters in the underground cave. At the docks, the group begins their plan, and Marty uses his remote device to set off the explosives in the mansion, eliminating all the creatures that were there. While Hunter and his companions head back to the city, Tani and Marty remain on the boat alongside Ray, where they head out to sea and prepare to set off all of the ship's bombs. After finding the local generator, the fisherman throws the fallen wires into large pools of water and asks Kenzie and Sam to stay there while he uses a noisy motorcycle to attract as many zombies as possible. In the middle of the sea, Marty prepares to dive into the glowing zone, but as soon as he jumps into the water, he is attacked by sea zombies, who begin to devour him. During the attack, one of the creatures climbs onto the boat, preventing Ray from saving his companion, and after getting rid of the invader, they realize that it's too late, as Marty has already been eliminated by the monsters. As they don't have much time, Ray orders Tani to flee across the water, while he stays on the boat and finishes preparing the explosives. While attracting the zombies, Hunter's motorcycle ends up bogged down, and as soon as he leaves the vehicle, the fisherman is faced with a colossal zombie, which tries to grab him at every turn. Trying to ward off the giant, the survivor strikes several blows to its body, but nothing seems to work. Realizing that his partner is in trouble, Kenzie drives the vehicle into the pools of water, attracting the attention of the horde, who gather around the site. For getting too close to the monster, Hunter ends up being lifted off the ground, and to get free, he uses Marty's electric knife, causing the giant's arm to be ripped off. To defeat the creature, the man uses the zombie's arm as a baton, unleashing several attacks on its body, and after stunning it, Hunter takes his machete and removes the creature's head. With everything ready, Ray throws the explosives into the ocean, and Sam activates the electricity breakers, causing all the zombies to be electrocuted. Now that half the plan has been completed, Hunter receives a message from his companion Ray, who is about to eliminate those monsters once and for all. Determined to save all his friends, the man sets off the detonator, causing a huge explosion that completely destroys the boat and generates another tsunami in the sea. Despite being shaken by his best friend's sacrifice, Hunter stands firm and tries to flee the scene before he is hit by the giant wave. In the middle of the road, he ends up being intercepted by Blaine, but the fisherman wastes no time and strikes his machete into the young man's body, causing him to suffer a severe headache from the electrical discharge. After the impact of the third tsunami, Hunter meets up with Kenzie and Sam, and after rescuing Tani from the water, they observe the ocean, which has now turned into a great sea of aquatic zombies. So what did you think of this movie? Leave it in the comments below. And if you liked the video, like and subscribe for more movie recaps. See you next time.